Hi, and welcome to Ski Talk. I'm Steve. I'm your host. I'm also the ski buyer and ski EO here at skis.com. And joining us today to talk about Dalbello boots, that was hard for me to say, is Ray Skelton. Hi, Ray.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
And Ray, you've been with Dalbello for how long?
Since 1993.
Ooh, that's like 20 years.
Almost.
Okay, great.
Almost.
So you know a little bit about these boots?
I do.
All right, so let's get into it. So we're going to talk about three boots in the women's line, the Aspire 65, Aspire 75, and Aspire 85. They're very similar boots. Now these are the opening price or entry-level boots in the Dalbello line. You guys have how many boots in your line?
Oh, we have at least 75 different models.
All right, so these are sort of, if you're a beginner to intermediate skier, this is the sort of the line of boots for you. So I've got in my hand the Aspire. Well, let's talk about the line as a whole. So this is specifically fit for women. What kinds of features do these boots have that make them a really good fit for more women?
One of the things, or a couple of things you do for women is we do women-specific liners. Mm-hmm. So they're lasted for women, they're lasted for ladies.
Meaning they're more shaped like a lady's foot.
Right, narrower ankles, a little snugger around this part of the foot. Mm-hmm. The other thing that we do on our women's boots is we lower the cuff heights to specifically build them for ladies. And then we also, what we call tulip, or we dish down the liner to accommodate women's calves, and which are usually different than men.
Okay. Now, if they need additional space in the cuff, what can they do?
There's a couple things you can do. All of our boots come with micro-adjustable buckles. So when you open the buckle up, the buckle is micro-adjustable to lengthen the buckle. This is called the rack right here, and the rack can be moved either in for a skinny leg or moved out for a larger leg.
Right, with a little tool you just move it over a couple of holes either way.
Yeah, and then one of the key features with Dalbello, and our people love this, is it's called the X module. This little cuff piece right here is removable. So if I have a woman with a lower, more athletic calf, I can pull this out of the boot, and it makes the cuff a ½ inch shorter, which allows that calf to fit in here better, and it removes, it adds to the volume of the shell.
Now I want to be specific, that is not available on the 65.
It's not on the 65.
So if a person has a larger calf muscle, they probably want to at least move up to the 75.
Right. That also comes in the 85 also.
Yeah, so. Move at least up to the 70. Yeah. Right. So there's 4 micro-adjustable buckles on these, which we talked about earlier, which I think is really important because a lot of the less expensive opening price point boots only have 2 or no micro-adjustable buckles. Right. All 4 of these can be adjusted to fine-tune the fit.
And for the U.S. market, Steve, we actually did metal buckles. You don't find this in our European lineup, but we did it for the U.S. market, so that will give you really high-quality metal buckles.
Okay. So let's talk about the differences between the boots. Those are the similarities between. And it's a 105 last.
Right.
So what kind of a fit is that?
It's a more relaxed fit. So for the person that's just getting into ski boots, they've been renting boots, they're used to that bigger fit. This is not going to be a racing, clench, squeeze your foot.
It's typical of their first ski boot.
Right. Right.
Okay. So describe, well, let's see, the 75, what features does the 75 have over the 65 that the 65 does not have? Or what's the difference?
On the 75, what you pick up over the 65 is you pick up the locking device or the walk feature. And for a lot of women or men, but this locking device allows you to unlock the boot. It lets the cuff stand up taller and more upright. So if you're standing in a lift line or riding a long chairlift, it lets you relax more in the boot.
Ski walk feature is, in my opinion, a huge benefit. It just makes it so much more comfortable walking from the car to the lift, or standing in the bar, or
cruising around the bar, walking around the streets after skiing.
It's also got the X module, right?
Right.
And that's pretty much it on the 75. Now, what does the 85 have over the 75?
The 85.
We don't have the 85 here to show you people, but it's available on
the 85. You pick up a really key feature in women's boots is you pick up a heel inclinator or a heel lift. You have a mechanical lift, a device that we dial in the heel, and I can raise it up to help position a woman's body, position her leg exactly the right way in the boot, and that's something that you'll find so many women's boots. Boot fitters are putting heel lifts in the boots.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that many women will add heel lifts to their boots if they're not getting a good fit. They have to go into the shop to do that. Here, they can just dial it right in without having to go into a shop to do that.
And the people that do this, you can dial that up and exactly micro adjust it to where you want it.
As opposed to a heel lift where you can either get a quarter or a half, and that's really about it.
Exactly.
All right. So
the other thing on the 85, which I think is worth $100 easy in the price of the boot, is it has a full custom fit liner. So it has our True Fit, the Dalbello True Fit thermal reactive liner.
So as they ski it over time, it'll actually start to adjust to the shape of their foot.
Right.
Okay, that's great. And women's boots, this women's line has a little more warmth than the men's line does too.
It does. We put extra layers of foam in the boot. We make the liners cushier. Even the insole is a little thicker for women.
Women get all the good stuff.
Right. One of the other things that you can't see as well on Steve's boot, but you'll see it on the 85 and you'll see it on the 75. These are bi-injected shells. This white material here, which is inside the blue shell material that you see here, the white material is a softer flexing material. It allows the boot to open up easy when you're prying the boot open to get your foot into the boot. And that's on the 65, the 75, and the 85.
Okay, great. So let's describe the customer. So the 65 is really that first boot, budget conscious, nothing special, put it in and go. The 75, who's the ideal?
75 is solid intermediate, or again that first time skier that wants to buy more performance to work their way into.
And for creature comforts as well.
Right.
And then the 85?
And then the 85 will sell to a potentially performance woman with a wider foot. It can go all the way up to an expert skier who might have a little bit wider foot.
Okay. So there you have it. That's the Aspire 65, 75, and 85 from Dalbello. Ray, thanks for joining us.
You bet. Thank you.
And thanks for joining us on Ski Talk.